Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Isaiah, and I'm here with my review of the movie Split. That's right, the M. Night Shyamalan featuring a whole bunch of new actors I've never heard of before, but M. Night Shyamalan movie about the man who has 23 personalities with the 24th about to be unlocked. And that's not a spoiler, they literally have that all over the poster and trailers. Now, this will contain spoilers when I get past my initial review. And then I'll recap it at the end and give it an overall grade like I did in my last Silence movie review. Now, first things first. This movie, just right after I got out of the theater, or when the credits started to roll, made me say, what the fuck? That's it. As my initial thought when I finished this movie. What the fuck? Now, it's not to say it's a bad movie. And it's by no means a great movie, but it's definitely worth watching. It's interesting to say the least. I don't know how many of you saw M. Night Shyamalan's last movie, The Visit. Well, that's the last one I heard of him or saw from him. But that one, spoilers for that movie because the movie's old already. That movie ended up getting down to just they had mental illness. And the twist was it wasn't actually their grandparents. It was, some people who had mental disorder that wanted grandkids or whatever. So that one was a little iffy in my opinion. This one actually has no M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. It is just flat out a guy with DID. I can't tell you what it is because I forgot what it is, but it's about this guy who has 23 personalities. 24 technically. Anyways, movie starts off, and within 3 minutes, I'm talking 3 minutes of us seeing the actors and the movie starting. 3 minutes! The girls get kidnapped. That's all it is. They're waiting at a party or something, waiting for the outcast girl that her parents gonna come pick her up. They don't. The car broke down, so okay, the dad offers her a ride home, and then the dad's putting the stuff away in the trunk. Someone comes and sprays him with stuff to knock him unconscious. Gets in the car, turns it on. They're like, you have the wrong car, and then he gets them with the spray, and so we start the movie. The movie was really well executed. It only showed like 4 of his personalities the whole time. We got to see the other ones later on, and we got to see vlogs of them, but for the most part we only got to see 4. Those were Dennis, Patricia, Hedwig, and Barry. Those are the 4 main personalities that you see, even though Barry almost kind of doesn't count because how little we see him, but we'll just throw him in there because he technically was in there. Now, without getting into spoilers, it's a very interesting movie. It keeps you thinking and guessing the whole time. You keep wondering how the girls are going to get out of there because they're being held like in an underground basement. They end up getting split up because of their attempts to escape, and he's like, well, I can't have that, so he has them split up. I'm trying to think of how I can explain without spoilers. Hedwig is important. Patricia's weird. Dennis is the personality that kidnapped them, so he's the strongest and the most atrocious, I guess. That is okay. So not spoiler, but I'm assuming that you guys have seen the trailer and you guys have seen the part where the guy grabs the bars and pulls them apart. That is the most atrocious personality, which I won't get into until I get to the spoilers review. But anyways, it is interesting. It carries itself on in a very good manner because the girls keep having almost ways to escape, and you keep hoping, but they keep failing. And half the movie is the therapist trying to figure out who she's talking to because she can't figure out if it's Barry, Casey. Who's Casey? No, Casey's the name of the girl. I'm sorry. She can't figure out if it's Barry, Dennis, Patricia, or Hedwig, or whoever she's talking to. So it's like at least a third of the movie. The therapist has a big role. We get to the middle of the film, and that's where it more picks up, because we get to see more of the personalities and what motivates them and what drives them, and we get to learn of why Barry, I'm gonna say is not gonna say his real name, but why he's like the way he is. And also we get to see Casey, which is the girl I fell in love with right away. She's quote unquote the main character, even though there's 3 girls that got kidnapped. She was the one I saw in the airport, and I was like, wow, she looks the prettiest. She's a pale girl with dark hair. There's a pale girl with blonde hair, and then there's a little darker skinned girl with dark hair. And they all have some importance, but Casey, none more than Casey, because we get to see flashbacks of her childhood as a child, and it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. I'll get into my spoilers part, but yeah, it's pretty rough. And the end of the movie was interesting. I was wondering if it was gonna be like that because of things that things that I'd seen and picked up during the movie, and I was right. My theories were right. If you're a good prognosticator and you can guess what's gonna happen later on in movies, you will probably be able to guess the ending of this and what happens. It is honestly not that difficult to tell halfway seeing it through. It is pretty just flat out there. Now, it's not an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist movie. It is just an M. Night Shyamalan movie. In theory, it should be a plot twist because of M. Night Shyamalan, but there's no plot twist here. It's just a flat out good movie. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. Same rating I gave Silence, except this one's a little more invigorating and makes you want to watch it because you want to see, instead of being like, oh god, the torture is terrible. So yeah, if you have time, go check it out. If not, try and make time, because it's honestly a pretty good movie to go check out. Take a couple friends so you guys can like what the fuck and discuss after. I watched it alone so I could come and give you guys my thoughts personally, not have any discussion with and get all my thoughts and theories out there, just coming straight to you. Okay, here we go. Spoiler warning. I'm about to get into my spoiler-filled review part of the movie. Ready? Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So, we get to see 4 of the personalities. Dennis is a hard ass. Patricia is a motherly kind, but a terrible woman. Hedwig is a child. And Barry is a fashion artist. We first see Dennis as he kidnaps the girls. Then Barry, because he's going to the therapist as Barry, we're giving her fashion tips, even though he keeps saying, I need to see you, urgent messages. And she's like, what's so urgent? Like, oh, I just felt bad and I wanted to see you. But it's really not what's happening. There's some terrible thing, which is called the Beast, which is his 24th personality. And it is honestly the worst thing ever. That is the one that pulls the bars apart and is like superhuman strength. He takes 2 shotgun shells to his chest and to his abdomen and just walks them off. It's fucking ridiculous. We get to learn of his backs of the main. Okay, so the person who's holding all 24 of these personalities together, his name is Kevin. Kevin Wendell Crumb. That is his full name. And if you say his full name, you'll be able to bring out Kevin himself. The therapist knows this, so she doesn't use it because she knows that will throw everyone into a tizzy. All his personalities. Back to Casey, the girl that I started loving as when I first saw her. We get to see her backstory, and her backstory is that her dad had a heart attack. And so did his dad, and they were really close. It was the dad, the uncle, and the daughter, Casey. The dad was showing her how to hunt. They were all having a great time. But the problem is, the uncle was raping Casey the whole time. What he said was, let's be animals. And it shows a scene of him telling her that, going down into the woods, taking off all of his clothes and getting in his underwear and like acting like an animal. He's like, come on, Casey, animals don't wear clothes. And it's terrible. It's really hard to see that part. And then there's a scene where he is coming up from the woods, and she's standing there like, I'm talking about, she's like 5 years old at this part, like 6 maybe 8. I don't know. She's young. I can never tell the age. I'll say she's like 9, 10. And she has a shotgun and she's holding it at him, and he's like, Casey, put it down. What are you doing? And she wanted to kill him because, you know, he's doing that to her. But he ends up taking the shotgun away and says, you could have killed me. And she panics. Then we see that the dad died and she had to go live with him. So we can just assume that he's been doing this stuff to her whole life, which is honestly terrible because she's a beautiful and young woman who doesn't deserve that. And explains why she's an outcast and doesn't really want to have friends. So after a while, the therapist gets 20 messages from Casey saying, "We need your help. I need your help. I need Barry. Barry, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help." She goes to his house because she realizes something's really wrong. And there she starts talking to Dennis, and Dennis explains that the beast is coming, and she was talking to him a little bit before in a session and saying that no, it's not real, but then he says no, he is real after she was there, and he's like, "Thank you for, you know, allowing me to explain to you." And she says, "I'll see you tomorrow." But as she's walking out, she asks if he can use his bathroom, but there's a lie to go, and she opens the door and sees one of the girls trapped there. And she panics, and Dennis gets angry, and he sprays her with the same stuff to knock her out, and yeah, he takes her away. She wakes up, and she writes a note saying, say his full name, because she realizes she's not going to be able to stop him. So, stuff happens. Dennis leaves. He transforms into the beast, comes back to the house. This is the ending of the movie. We see him quite literally gnawing on the... Okay, so Casey gets out because she has a nail. She pries open a lock. Then she finds keys, opens the door, starts leaving. She looks to the left where the room was. She sees the therapist knocked down on the floor. She opens the door to the right where the blonde was, and her guts, or no, the dark girl was, and her guts are ripped open and explode all over the floor like she was eaten. And then we open the third door to find the blonde girl. She says, "Help me," and Casey says, "Come on, hurry up, let's get out of here." And she gets dragged into the room further. Casey takes a step in, looks, and sees the beast, which is a buff version, bulky ass version of Barry, Kevin, whatever you want to call him, the split dude, gnawing on her. So she locks the door with a bolt lock and runs out. But it's no problem for the beast. He just breaks open the lock and just starts flying out and starts chasing her down. But she gets into the room where the therapist was, and she reads the note, and the beast is in there. And then she says, Kevin Wendell Crumb, Kevin Wendell Crumb, and she gets Kevin out. He says, "I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I thought this is such and such." He gives her a date, September 18th, 2014. She's like, "No, we're in 2017. She doesn't say that, but you know, you can assume. And then he's like, and then we see like 7 or 8 of his personalities. They all come out. This girl, this smart one, and then we get to see Hedwig, Dennis, and Patricia again, which are called the Horde because they're the 3 worst personalities. Hedwig has too much control, and he gives that control to Patricia, who's a very mean woman, and Dennis, who likes to kidnap girls and watch them dance naked, which is really weird. Dennis knows it's a problem, but he enjoys it too much. So Kevin tells her in his state, he says, "There's a shotgun right there behind you, hidden, and I have shells down the hall. Go grab those and kill me right now." And then we see his personalities. She grabs a shotgun. She starts running down the hall to get the shotgun shells. He comes at her again as a beast. She yells at his name. He says he's gone. We've put him far away. There's no way you can reach him now, even if you say his name a million times. She tries to find the shells. She runs down the hallway. She locks herself in that cage and then shoots him twice. He rips open the cage, and there was one part where he knocked her down, was ripping her leg apart, but she got out and like kicked him and then closed the door and kept running. And the beast wants impure girls, which means girls that haven't been like any hardships, they have it easy all their life, and they're all spoiled and rich and that kind of deal. But then he sees this girl, which was my theory, was that this girl has been in trouble and traumatized her whole life. There's no way she's as what the beast wants. As the beast is ripping open the cage doors, he looks at her, shirt ripped off, because it ripped while he was attacking her, and he sees scars on her shoulder, on her arms, on her stomach, all over her, as if they were self-inflicted. And he says, "You're one of the pure ones. You've been through problems. You've had trouble. I can't hurt you. This isn't the beast. The beast doesn't want this." And then he just leaves. He just leaves. He's just like, I'm done. And just walks out. And it's like, what? It's just that easy just to leave and walk away after? But luckily she got far enough all the way to the end of the corridor that some guy was down there and he was smoking, and he looks over and he sees her in the cell, like, what the hell are you doing? So he takes her out, and it turns out she was in a zoo. Apparently Barry had been working for a zoo as a maintenance guy, and he got that whole entire little underground after being the head maintenance guy, and they gave it to him or something. And that's where he was keeping the girls. So Casey gets out, she calls the police. There's a scene where it says, your guardian's here, are you ready to go? And she just looks at her with his eyes of just like pain. And I think the cop realized that there was something wrong. So it doesn't explain that part. But then we get a news broadcast explaining the murders and all this stuff. And we get to see, they're saying that this guy is DID and that he's called the Horde now, and that they don't know if he's alive or dead or what's going on, because all these rumors about what's happening. And then for some reason, we see Bruce Willis. Yes, Bruce Willis at the very end of the movie, because there's two girls sitting at a bar, not like a diner bar. I don't know what it's called, where they sit on the stools at a diner, and they're talking, and they say, "Oh, what's that guy's name that had that 15 years ago?" And Bruce Willis says his name was Mr. Glass or something. I might have misheard the name, but then he has a name tag that says "done" on it, and I don't know if that was supposed to mean something, but I may have missed a thing or two. But yeah, that's it. It kind of feels like they're trying to set up for a sequel, which I wouldn't mind too much, because Casey's still out there, not Casey, Barry's still out there running around with all those personalities, and they are just switching like bang, 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 bang. We see a full conversation between all five of them: the Beast, the Hedwig, Patricia, Dennis. Well, four of them, I guess. We see a conversation between all four of them, just like bang, bang, bang. They just talking to each other, and it's honestly scary. So it seems like we may get a sequel, because he got away, and we don't get a lot of questions were left unanswered. As if, did the blonde girl die? I think she did. I'm pretty sure the dark girl hair died because her guts were ripped open, and the therapist died because the Beast broke her spine. But yeah, that'll be the If My Spoilers part, and we're back. Okay, no more spoilers for you guys. So I just gave out the full synopsis of the movie to everyone who watched it, spoiler reviewed. And I have to say, I really liked the movie. It was very fun and interesting to watch. It got me thinking, and had me racing, my heart racing, a little worried. It's not gonna give me nightmares, it's not gonna scare me or anything, but it was good. It's hard because these M. Night Shyamalan movies, past two ones, have just been about mental disorders. And I think the scarier part is that there's no Jason Voorhees coming out of the lake to kill you. It's just, these are regular people who have had mental disorders that could act like this, and it's scary because it's not impossible. It's totally possible. Maybe to what I said about you know, in my spoiler field review about his 24th personality, that part could be impossible. I don't know, but it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I want to research more about this DID, because I want to see if the stuff they said is real. They said that one girl had the 3 personalities. One was blind and 2 weren't. The other 2 could see perfectly fine, but one of them couldn't see at all. And it was because her vision regenerated because her brains hold it. I don't know, but it's really interesting. So yeah, that's my review on the movie. I really recommend it. I think it's a good film. You should go check it out. 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, if you guys like this review, please give me a like, comment what you guys thought, and subscribe and share with your friends, because I thought this was a good movie, and I'd be down to go watch it again, honestly. See if I missed anything. But anyway, thanks for the review. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.